morning, sir.
Are you from
I'm from Pakistan.
Pakistan? Oh, you are now in Pakistan?
No, I'm in Cyprus now.
Oh, okay. You are online.
Yeah,
Which city you come from?
I came from Karachi.
Karachi. Ah, it's good. It's nice city.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Did you receive my assignments to do for the last class?
Yes, sir, I did.
You did it, but you didn't send it. You will send it
Yeah, I will.
because until 10 we have the time.
Yeah, till
Okay.
14th November.
Yeah. I will wait some minutes and start because we have some time. Good morning, Kadri. Kadri, is it Kadri? Natasha and Kadri. Zoha, Ayub Zoha.
Yes, sir.
You from?
I'm from Pakistan.
You also Pakistan. It's good.
Yeah.
Also from Karachi?
Yes, I'm Huda's sister.
Ah, your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, it's good.
Yes, sir.
You are in Cyprus.
Yes, sir. I'm in Cyprus.
It's good. Nice.
Yes.
I will wait some minutes then start because I have to see you all and then we will go on. Are you enjoying to attend my class? You are understanding? Or you have problem when it is online? Is clear everything? You are understanding? Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
This is your first class or you are attended before?
This is our first class.
Ah, okay. Because I have some classes. We did some classes with the others. Are you enjoying to attend this class? You are having problem or you are understanding? Is anybody who attended before? Who attended before?
I just have problems with the exercises, sir.
Exercises. Then you can communicate with me. You can write me email or you, if you want, I can give you my WhatsApp number. Then you can contact me with WhatsApp to solve it. I will upload the solution also because I have uploaded, I think, one solution, one exercise, one example, and then I will do the next class after you submitting the solution if you want, or I will upload the solution, then you will see. Do you want it?
Yes, sir. After I've submitted the assignment, I would like the solution.
Okay, next after submission, I will put the solution to the class, to the assignments, okay? It was easy, but I will explain you comprehensively. If you are not able to understand again, then I will try to communicate with you online on the class then to show you how it is because it is not difficult. Okay, shall we start now? Is that okay? Do you want me to start? we are starting supply demand estimation application. I will give you this class supply and demand, how it is the market equilibrium realized, and then give you some simple exercise to understand how this equilibrium is going to be estimated, and when this supply curve or demand curve is shifted, what will happen to the market. You are understanding? Is that okay? Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay, shall we start now?
Yes.
Okay. I will go through to my class, and then after finishing, then we will discuss. If you don't understand anything, then I will repeat it, because I have always 2 chapters together. After finishing this chapter, I will let you to ask me question, and then we go to the next chapter. Okay. So let's see how this market structure realize. The market, for understanding, most supply side, consumer demand side in the economics, and we are trying to find the equilibrium. As I have mentioned to you in the last lecture, supply alone is not enough to determine the market equilibrium. Demand is also affecting and changing the market equilibrium, and this is, of course, from the classical approach, is supposed to be the invisible hand in the market is playing very important role and determine the market price, and of course the demand and supply either. Therefore, when we are looking to the demand curve, you are understanding this is, of course. Do you have any question, Haris? When you are looking to this demand curve here, we have some quick estimation and, of course, application to see how the demand curve is realized. As you are observing here, we have the quantity on the horizontal x-axis, and of course the price on the y, on the vertical. And as you see, as much as the price up or increases, the quantity demanded is reduced. Therefore, demand and, of course, price have inverse relationship. As much as demand is enlarged, if you have any question, you ask me. If don't, then let go. As you see, I didn't put the equation here, demand equation, but in the following slides, you will see this. First, I want to schedule the demand curve to let you to understand how it is going to be realized. And as you are observing here, the price of ice cream cone is increasing as much as the demand curve, and of course the demand capacity, so-called the consumer demand, decreasing is increasing. The price and demand is inversely proportional in this example, and of course demand curve is inversely proportional. Due to this reason, the slope of this demand curve and demand equation is, of course, negatively related. When you are observing here, we have here 0 ice cream price, and we have the highest demand, so-called 12 units, which is free of charge. And when we have the price for the ice cream for 50 cents, it is increasing the price and, of course, decreasing the amount of the demand to 10. And when we are shifting and increasing the price from 50 to $1 or €1, dollar, it is dollar actually, then we are having here 8 cones. So-called demand is decreasing again. And when you are increasing this from 150 to 2 to 250 to 3, you are observing the demand capacity is decreasing from 8 to 6, from 6 to 4, and from 4 to 2, and then 0. Therefore, when you are putting this relationship and of course the numbers to the curve, you have inverse proportional graphic and of course negatively sloped curve or line between quantity and price. And as you are observing, the highest amount, which is 12, price is 0, and when the price is $3, which is the highest price, the amount which is going to be bought from the consumer is 0. Therefore, you are understanding the price negative impact to the demand capacity. Due to this reason, we are trying to manage this demand regarding to the supply side. Therefore, we have to learn the supply side of the economics for being able to estimate the market price. But first, let's go through to see how it is going to be realized when the price changes or demand changes affecting and increasing the demand. As you are observing, if the demand is increasing to the right, this means there is either the price decrease or there is somehow the quantity which is going to be bought enlarged in the market, and taste of the consumers, price, everything, the quality, everything affecting and changing. This shifts on the demand curve. And as you are observing here, if the demand curve shift to the left, this is then of course means we are having decrease on the demand. Therefore, if the demand curve is shifted to the right, this means the demand capacity is increasing, the demand for any X product is increasing, or here for the ice cream is increasing. Or if it is shifted to the left, this means the ice cream cone quantity or capacity or amount is decreasing. This is of course dependent to the price, to the taste, to the utility capacity, everything which is affecting and changing the demand curve, also called the consumer curve. Variables which affects the demand curve is given somehow here. As you see, the price first is affecting and changing the demand curve. If the price decreases, of course, it is shifting to the right. If demand is increasing, it is shifted to the left. Similarly, if the income is increasing for the consumer, demand capacity will enlarge and shift it to the right. And if the demand shifted to the left, this means income is decreasing or the price is increasing. Similarly, price of the related goods, which is affecting and changing the substitution effect or the substitution or similar preferences, will affect and change the demand capacity. If there is cheaper and similar quantity or similar quality or taste in the market, you are of course changing your taste and your quantity produced in the market and consumed will be affected. Taste of the consumers is also affect and change the demand curve, as I mentioned to you. If you don't like to eat some dessert, you don't buy dessert. But if you like dessert, you like to buy ice cream. Somehow it is related. And if you don't like to buy ice cream, this means you don't like some dessert, or you don't like some sweet something. Or maybe you like chocolate and you don't like ice cream. This kind of taste and preferences is affecting. As you know, demand and consumer preferences is not similar. It is unique, and every consumer has his own or her own taste and preferences and utility capacity, and of course the utility curve. The expectations, the price increase, the income increase or decrease, also affecting and changing the demand curve, and the number of buyers is also affecting the demand curve, because if there is no demand for any X product, the price is expected to decrease. And if there is higher and of course intensive demander and of course buyer or consumer, the price will increase, isn't it? And of course the amount of product, if it is not sufficient, you are of course not able to buy sufficiently. Therefore, these variables affecting and changing the demand curve. Let's see the slope of the demand curve. As you are aware, as I mentioned to you, when we are looking to the demand equation here, which is given here, QD is equal A minus BP. This is the first time probably that you are going to see the demand curve. We are having here the demand curve, and the A is the intercept where it is the starter, and B is the slope of this curve, and P is the price. As you see, P is the only variable which is affecting and changing the quantity. But slope of this curve, which is B, is also affecting this inclination. Therefore, it can be a linear or non-linear curve, but in any case, the slope of the demand curve is always realized, as you are observing here, negatively. Oops, it happens. Let me see what is happening here. Okay, I'm opening again.
Hello?
Yes, I'm opening because something happens. Students' profile comes to the screen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we were in this slope.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, we were here. So you are following the class, I think. If you don't have any question, I will go through to this slope. As you see, the demand equation is QD is equal to A minus BP. And as I mentioned to you, A is the intercept, which is the
Hello,
constant.
sir.
Yes, please.
I'm
morning.
moving faster. Slow. Good morning.
Slow.
Can we go slow? Yes.
You mean from here on, or I have to go back to repeat it something? Is that okay?
Increase, the decrease. I did not get you well there.
You didn't understand where it is increasing and decreasing?
Yes, sir.
Shall I have to go back a little bit?
No, perhaps later with
Okay.
explanation or
Don't worry, because I have repetitions in this chapter. Don't worry, and you will understand, because this is the introductory part for you, and I will try to manage it as much as possible. The slides of the supply curves and demand curve you will understand better, because we have two chapters together with applications, and you will understand better. But let me go this equation first for letting you to understand this demand curve and demand equation, and then explaining you the slope of this curve, and then go to this supply curve. Is that okay?
Okay,
I think
sir.
you should.
Hello.
There is a noise.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Exactly, just what yes, sir. Just
Yes.
what you just said. You have to go over everything back so that we can understand better. The
Shall I
teaching
have to
is
go back?
yeah,
Shall I have to go?
the teaching is too fast for us, so that we need you
Oh,
to
really? Really? Shall
yes,
I
sir.
have to go a little bit back to
Yes, sir,
demand
so that
curve?
we can yes, sir, so that we can get it better now, because
You
if we don't
ask
tell
me
you
A
question.
little bit is okay.
okay, sir.
You ask me question, then I will help you, because I suppose you know you are understanding. That's why I go. You understand this curve first curve. Is there any problem here?
Yeah,
Hello. Yes,
Yes.
there's a problem. I did not understand.
I'm
Yeah,
sometimes
Ajam.
disconnected because my connection is bad.
Ajam, I didn't even understand anything. Like,
You didn't understand this curve.
No, we didn't hear you.
Yes,
Hear
yes,
you,
ma'am.
Ajahn.
You are hearing me?
I too don't understand. I too don't understand.
Okay. Probably your connection. You are hearing me clearly because sometimes your connection is not well. Then you are not hearing me. But if you are hearing me, let's go back again. I mentioned here there is a curve. I don't know if you don't have the economical background, but you have probably the mathematical background, and you have to understand this graphical illustration. There is an inverse relationship between price and quantity, isn't it? Between y-axis and x-axis. Y-axis is the price and x-axis is the quantity. Is that okay up to here? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What they meant was that, you're talking too fast. That's what they meant. You know what I mean?
Yes, I am
That
talking.
they're not getting everything like,
They want to write. They want to write probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, you want
Exactly,
to write
sir. I
some
want to
explanation
take. You want to take some jotting according to the explanation. You want to write something down so that you have to do a little bit slow so that we can understand and write something.
Yes,
Okay,
but
okay.
but you know what? I will upload this to YouTube, and you will take it there, and you repeat slowly and repeat several times if you want.
Okay.
Okay, well, no problem. That's
no
okay.
problem,
I will upload all files, or I can send you if you communicate to email. I will send you these files either, and you can exercise at home. You can repeat these videos, no problem. But I will upload this to YouTube, no problem. I will give you the connection, and then you will see there also. Okay.
Okay.
Therefore, dictation.
I think email will be better than YouTube.
Email is better, but YouTube also. I will put YouTube, and if you don't get it from YouTube, you can write me email. Then I will send you this chapter online, these videos. Okay.
I think you can send it in the file.
In the file, okay. But you should write me email, or you can send me your WhatsApp number. You can contact me via WhatsApp. I can give you my WhatsApp number. Then you can communicate with me WhatsApp if you want.
Okay,
Then you can.
No problem, sir.
Do you want me?
Text us your
No
WhatsApp
problem.
number, then we can contact you from there. Your WhatsApp
Yeah,
line.
that's it.
Okay.
It will be
Shall I have to give you now my WhatsApp number to write? You register?
Yes.
Okay, then get it 00
00
90 533
533
834
834
834, I mean, and 2002.
Go back.
Come again, please.
533.
I'm repeating. 90090. I am repeating.
Yeah.
533
Yeah.
834.
Yes, sir.
And 2002.
2. Yes, sir. So, what's the name, sir?
My name is Ergin Ak Alpler. Professor Ak Alpler. If you write there, then you will get me, okay?
Okay, sir.
You can create you can.
Please, can someone create WhatsApp group for this us?
Yeah, someone also create it. But we have to have our own number, our own personal numbers. We have the lecturer number now, so we should try and get our own personal number so that we can create WhatsApp group on this number.
Exactly. You send me WhatsApp where you are, no problem. You can create a WhatsApp communication with me. Then I will upload also in your WhatsApp group also these files. You are understanding? But I will upload to the. I will give you next lecture my YouTube account number and of course name. I will give you once again my email and my WhatsApp number also. Then you will communicate. Okay? Is that okay?
Okay.
It's okay.
Just text it on WhatsApp.
Now, okay. Now just try to understand because dictation is not that much easy, but I will try to slow a little bit slowly. Okay?
Okay, sir.
as I have mentioned to you here, we have the price on the vertical line and quantity on the horizontal line. And as you see, as much as the price increases, the amount of quantity decrease. Okay, if I am speaking like that, if I speak slowly, is that okay? Is this much?
It's okay, sir.
You got this graphic?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, price increase, quantity decrease. There is inverse relationship. Is that okay for this graphic? You got it?
No.
In inverse relationship, negative relationship. Negative relationship.
In a demand supply, price of ice cream, price of this. So the have vertical, horizontal.
Tell me, between price and quantity, there is inverse relationship. There is negative relationship, and as much as price increases, amount of the quantity is decreasing. Okay? Shall I have to go?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we are
Yes.
Now we are exercising the demand curve, shifts on the demand curve. Shifts on the demand curve. This is demand curve. This is demand curve. And if the demand shifted or to the right, this means there is an increase on demand. There is an increase on demand. If demand curve shifted to the right, this indicates increase in demand. To the right, increase in demand. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if demand shifted to the left, means decrease in demand. Decrease in demand, shift demand to the left means decrease in demand. Is clear? Okay. Okay, we're coming to the influencer, also called the variables, which affects the demand curve. Variables which affects the demand curve. The price. Price is affecting the demand curve. Price is affecting the demand curve. Price increase, reduce, price increase, reduces the demand. Price increase reduces the demand. Price decrease increases the demand. Okay?
Okay.
Income. Similarly, income. If the income is increases naturally, we are expecting our demand is increased. If the demand and of course price parallelly realized, there is negative relationship. But if income is increases, we are expecting demand is also increase. You see the difference? Price increase, reduce demand, income increase, increase demand. Therefore, income shifts the demand curve to the right. Price increase shift the demand curve to the left. There is, of course, vice versa relation. Price decrease, increase demand, income decrease, of course, reduce demand. You got it? Prices of related goods is also affecting the demand because of this substitution effect. The substitution effect, if X product price is increases, if X and Y is related, or let's say complement or substituted goods, you may say income increase will enlarge maybe for X or Y, no problem. But if the price of X is increases, we are replacing our preferences to the Y, because if you are coming from Nigeria, let's say Cadbury and Milka, or Cadbury and Milo. You have Milo chocolate, I think, in Nigeria, in African countries. If the price of Cadbury is increased, you give up consuming Cadbury and you buy Milka. If the prices stay stable for the Milka or reduced for Milka, you prefer to buy more Milka. Therefore, prices relation between the products affects and change the preferences. Similarly, taste is also affecting our preferences. Tastes are also affecting our preferences. If you like to drink more coffee than tea, you consume more coffee. Or if you like to drink more Coke than coffee, then you prefer to buy more Coke. You understand? Is that okay? Up to now?
Yes.
Yes.
It's okay.
Now is better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then expectations shifts the demand curve. Of course, expectations. If you are expecting to income increase, if you are expecting income increase, demand curve shifted to the right. Opposite is also correct. If the expectations on income is negative, your income is reduced or will be reduced, you reduce your demand. Similarly, number of buyers. If there is iPhone in the market, 2 iPhone, and there is 10 buyers, of course, the price for this iPhone will be increased, isn't it? But if there is 10 iPhone and there is 2 buyers, the price probably will be reduced. The number of buyers is also important. If there is more buyers, is that okay? More buyers, higher price, less buyers, lower price. So proportional. Up to now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm going to the next slide. Now we come to the slope, the equation now. As you see, there is a inversely related curve, demand curve here, because demand and price are inversely proportional, as I mentioned to you, okay? Demand and price are inversely proportional, or quantity demanded and price are inversely proportional, negatively related, because we have the equation here. Demand equation. QD is equal to A minus BP. QD is equal to A minus BP. A is the intercept amount, so-called to constant, zero. When the price is not related, the amount that you can buy is, of course, always existing. And this is A. Sometimes it's 0, sometimes 1, sometimes 2. It depends to the, of course, amount of this intercept. And the P is the only variable which is affecting, in the demand equation. Okay, therefore, demand equation is affected from price, or price affecting the demand curve, or quantity demanded. And B, the red B, which is negative, is the slope of this curve, which is from mathematics, you know y is equal to a minus b y x, so-called in mathematics. If you know mathematics, if b is negative, there is negative relation and of course negative inclination and curve on the graphic as we have here. Up to now is clear? You got it? Yes, you are understanding this equation? If you have any question, ask me.
Sir?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
Sir, please, I have a question.
Yes,
On the
please.
diagram, you said quantity demanded is equals to A minus BP
Yes.
on the slope. So, but from the slope, I'm not seeing where A is and minus BP.
No, this is the curve. B is the slope, and here is the given the estimation of the slope here on the curve. We are just giving you, because step by step we are creating this. Don't go further. I didn't put here A and B because there is no numbers here. You understanding?
Okay.
I only give you here the slope now. You are only exercising here the estimation of the slope. In the
Okay, sir.
following slides, I will give you application and you will see where is A and where is B. Okay? Don't
Okay,
worry.
sir.
Sir?
Here, yes, please.
Yeah. What we're doing now is just giving us the equation of the slope minus delta
Yes.
P over delta Q.
No, equation of the demand, and I am giving you here the, of course, estimation of the slope. How we are going to
The
estimate
bottom one
the
is the
slope.
slope. The upper one
How
is
we
the demand.
estimating the slope, because as you see, B is the slope, and as you see here, when you have two different points on this demand curve, P0 and P1 and Q1 and Q0, you have delta P and delta Q, which is the differences of this price and quantity. And when you dividing each other, you will get the slope. In mathematics is also similarly estimated. When you have the two different points of any curve or nonlinear curve, you will have the slope of this curve or linear. You understand? Therefore, here the slope of this equation is B or minus B, because there is negative relation. Because as you are observing here, when we are dividing P minus minus 0 dividing to Q0 minus Q1 will give you the minus delta P over delta Q, which is negative number, because of this curve is negatively related and negatively related, and of course line is negatively illustrated. Therefore, we are having here the curve and of course the slope estimation only. I didn't put any calculation, no intercept, no price, no quantity, and no bin as number numerical example. Later I will give you, then you will see on the graphic where it is located. Here I just put only the slope, how we are going to estimate the slope, because we have to learn how to manage this slope, isn't it? You got it?
Okay, so QD equal A minus BP is standard for the demand.
Yes, standard for all, yes.
Okay.
B, this is the estimation for all curve, for all.
So we should memorize this equation, yeah?
Yes, we will put the numbers. In supply, I put it, but here I didn't put it, but you can put the number if you want. Okay, let's go to the supply curve now, because I am just introducing you supply and demand. Now I am going to the other side of the economy, the supplier, so-called the supply side of the economics, and we are illustrating here the supply curve. We are just exercising now the estimation of the supply. Okay, now we have the supply curve, and as you are observing here, again the same example, the ice cream and cone demanded, but here of course we have the supplier. As much as your demand is increasing, the produced amount is also increasing, as you are observing here. Therefore, here we have zero price and zero quantity demanded and of course produced. Here is also cone produced. It should be produced also, no problem. And when we are moving to the second phase, where it is 0.50, we have again 0. And then when we go to the 1, we are starting to produce and consume 1 unit of corn produced and consumed bilaterally. And when we go to the next phase, to the 1.5, we have 2 units of production for corn. And when we go to $, for price, we have 3 units of corn produced and consumed. And when we have 250, we have 4 units. And when we have $3, we have the highest quantity produced. Of course, it is written here demanded, but we don't know the demand capacity. It should be here produced, because this may make some confusion in your mind. This is, of course, demand. This is supplied, demanded but supplied. Okay, we suppose that it is produced. We don't know the demand capacity already. We didn't put these two together. Okay, this is the supply side of the economy. Is that right? I will correct it as demand, because demand is not correct here, because you may confuse. Of course, we are producing something for demanding, but this is for the producer. Is clear? As you see, there is proportional relationship between price and demand, supply in the economy. As much as quantity increased, supplied, the price is supposed to be increased, or vice versa. As much as the price is increasing, the quantity produced is supposed to be increased. Yeah, you have understood?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes, please.
If the supply and demand are not proportional,
yes,
that might affect the price, and the price will not be proportionate, right?
Yes.
What I mean is, like, if the demand is low but the supply is high, the price is gonna be proportionate with the demand, right?
We didn't put these two together, actually.
I know,
Of
but
course,
it's just, it might be irrelevant, but I just had a question.
somehow, yes. If you tell me once again what you mean exactly, because I didn't illustrate this together, it is better that leave it this question later, because I will build on it. You just exercise separately now for being able to understand this supply and demand, and then I'm going to put and show you how it is related, whether the demand is increasing and supply decreasing. Everything will be given to you, don't worry. I will give you in this lecture, and then you will understand very easily everything after this class, I suppose, I suggest. Okay. Now we have together the supply curve, increase. Oh, sorry, we have shifts on the supply curve. If the supply curve now shifted to the right, this means there is an increase on the supply, and if it is shifted to the left, there is decrease in supply. Is okay here? To the right? Yes, please.
The slide is not visible. I can't share your screen.
You can see.
I can't share your screen. Yes.
You can share the slides.
Yes.
I think it is the connection problem from you, because
there's a button that says return to lecture or something that takes her back to it.
You didn't open the share boot button. You should get this button to see the slides. Everybody see, I think everybody see. Are you seeing this slides?
Yes, sir.
Probably Adeline has problem. Adeline, you asked me the question, I think. Probably it is from your side. You have connection problem probably, and this button is not open. Turn on. You turn voice laser, because it is coming too loud to us. Up to now is clear. Shall I have to go further?
Continue, sir.
Okay. Now we are coming to the parameters or variables which is affecting the supply side or seller or the supply. Again, price is very important, as you see from the former graphic. Here, if the price goes up, you see the graphic, the quantity produced is increasing, because when the price is $1, the quantity produced is 1 unit. When the price goes $2, the price produced is 3 units. As you see, it is increasing the amount when the price, because producer or the seller is profit oriented, and as much as the amount of the unit which is produced increased, we are expecting the quantity is also increased. Therefore, as much as the price is increased, we are expecting that in price shifting the supply curve to the right. Okay, and if the price decreasing, we are expecting the amount of produced goods and services shifted to the left. And of course, for the demand side, if the demand is reduced, the amount of the supply is supposed to be reduced. And of course, if the demand is enlarged, the amount of the produced goods is supposed to be shifted to the right. Similarly, input price, if the input price is also increased, we are expecting the price will be affected and shifted to the right. And of course, this will then, of course, directly affecting and changing the supply curve to the upward position. And if the input price is decreasing, the profit rate, if it is enlarged, we are holding the constant price, or we are reducing the price. And when the price is reduced, we are expecting, of course, some reduction in the supply or some enlarge in the demand capacity if the price reflected to the consumers. And the technology similarly affecting and changing the amount of the produced goods and services. If we are using high-tech application know-how and of course production operation process, higher technology, we are producing more. This is affecting the productivity. Therefore, technology positively affecting the supply curve and shifting to the right. And if you have technology, older technology or bad technology, you have, of course, lower capacity and lower production performance in your production operation process. And this is then, of course, not good. Therefore, high technology affecting the productivity and performance, and of course, the unit of production will be enlarged as much as the technology is increasing. Is okay? And expectations, if you are expecting to get some resources, if you are expecting to produce more in your production operation process, or if you are expecting to enlarge your demand capacity and shifting the supply to the higher level, this will then shift and enlarge the supply curve to the right. And if it is opposite, realize as we are exercising in pandemic here in coronavirus, we are reducing our production, and of course, we are shifting the supply curve to the left. Is okay? Is clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
the number of sellers, as you see, is good. Okay. If the number of sellers in the market is less, you have more cake to eat, isn't it? As much as the producer is increasing, your selling capacity is decreasing because you are sharing your cake. You are distributing to the market as much as the seller is less. Therefore, if the seller is more, you are reducing your capacity in the market, your capacity to sell to the market. Therefore, your buyer will be distributed to the other sellers either, and this is affecting your capacity in the production operation process. If the number of sellers is less, you have more production and more consumer, of course, more buyer and more, of course, profit. Opposite is also correct. If you have higher sellers, you have probably less capacity to sell your product in the market because you are too much in the market. If you don't have any question, I go to the next. And we have here again the slope.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Please, I have a question.
Yes, please.
On the points where you said the number of sellers,
yes.
that if the number of sellers, the number of producers, if they increase, there will
Yes.
be increase in supply.
Yes.
If I'm correct. And because of that, it will shift the supply curve to the right. Is it
You are
correct?
now, but we are thinking, we are not in the macroeconomics, we are in the microeconomics. Therefore, we are thinking ourselves as a businessman. You are understanding? If you in macroeconomics, the number of sellers, of course, affecting and shifting the supply curve to the right. But you have here more sellers, and as a person, as a businessman, as a one unique business company, your share in the market will be reduced, isn't it? Because your capacity to sell your product is decreasing. Therefore, this may negatively affect and reduce your consumers in the market, and this is negatively affecting you. That's why I am telling you, as a person, as a business, as a company, not as a macro level. As a macro level, of course, number of sellers, if it is increased and enlarged, the supply curve shifted to the right. But as a person, if the cake is one cake and you divide it into 4 pieces and you are the one of these 4 sellers, you have 1/4 of this cake, isn't it? And of course, consumers in the market, and of course, sellers as a buyer, as a seller. But if you are increasing and dividing it to the 8, you reduce your market share, isn't it? You got it? You are understanding?
Yes, sir.
That's why
yes,
I am
sir.
telling you. Macroeconomical aspect, of course, this is right, but not macroeconomy. We are doing microeconomy. Therefore, we are concentrating a business, only business, your business. And if people increasing in the market, your capacity is decreasing, isn't it? Your selling capacity is expanding because too many sellers in the market will shift your curve, your company's curve, to the negative direction. Because if more people produce same, and you have to restrict and reduce your capacity, because if 10 people produce same product is something, and if 1 people or 2 people produce product, and you have 10 units in the market to being sold or is going to be sold, then you have 5 units for each. But if you are 10, then you have 1 unit for each. Therefore, this is restricting your production capacity either when the number of sellers increasing in the market. But as a macroeconomical aspect, this is of course good because this is enlarging, maybe not in the market, but in international market, and into other destinations, you are enlarging and increasing your capacity. You understand? It's clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for your question to explain you better. Okay, now we come to the slope of the supply curve. We have the QS now, as you see, is equal to A plus BP, which is now the slope is positive because, as you are observing here, we are supposing as much as the quantity produced. We have here the numerical numbers and of course numerical example from 500 to 750. Then of course price is also increased from 3 to 4, and vice versa is correct. If the price increase from 3 to 4, you are enlarging the quantity produced from 500 to 750. Therefore, in the supply side of the economics, or law of supply says the delta price divided to delta quantity is a positive number, and of course the slope of this curve is positive, as it is given in the below example. B is equal to P1 minus P0 dividing to Q1 minus Q0 is equal to delta P over delta Q, which is of course in this example given 4 minus 3 dividing to 750 minus 500 is equal to 0.004, which is positive number, and of course this will then gives you a positive slope and positive inclination on this supply curve. And as you are observing here, there is a linear curve which is positively related between price and quantity. As much as price is increased, of course quantity is also increased. Is clear? You are understanding? You are happy now? Is okay?
Yes, sir. One question.
Yes, please.
So basically, the demand curve is always negative.
Yes.
And the supply curve is always positive.
Exactly.
Oh, perfect. All right. Thank you.
Okay, you are right. Okay, now we have supply and demand. We have to put the equilibrium, probably, isn't it? But as you see, the one side, the supplier is profit oriented, and is only possible if the price is going up to increase the quantity produced. But on the other side, when the demand is up or the price is up, the demand capacity is reduced. Therefore, in the market, we have a big issue, big problem to find the equilibrium price, because on the one side, the supply side, where they are always trying to increase the price for producing more, and on the other side, there is demand, so-called the welfare economics. They are trying to reduce the price for increasing their demand capacity. As we are all demander, we are all consumers, we are enjoying to buy when there is a seasonal discount, when there is a seasonal reduction on the prices. We enjoy to shop more, isn't it? We are going to shop more. Is that right? We are all enjoying to go to the sale when there is a discount in the price. Therefore, we like to shop more when the price is down. And of course, this is for the supplier on the other side not good. They don't like this because they want more profit. But if the season is over, is going to close, they are trying to reduce the price and wish to enlarge and increase their capacity, sold quantity, as much as before ending the season. Therefore, when we are shifting the demand curve to the higher level, this means there is some price reduction or there is some income increase, or for the supplier, there is some supply shifts to the right. The price is either increase or there is some income increase, maybe affecting change the quantity demanded, and of course the production will be enlarged. And as you see here, we are having here the equilibrium points where the price for the corn is 2, and where the quantity produced and sold 7. Above this unit, above the price 2, this is expecting to create surplus, because supply will become more and demand will become less. You see, if the price goes 3, if it is 3, the price is 3, the demand will reduce, isn't it? And supply will enlarge. But this is, of course, indicates that above this 2, demand capacity will not anymore enjoy to buy. They will reduce demand capacity. They will reduce supply capacity. Therefore, this is not good. Below 2 is good for the economy, but above 2 is not good for the economy from macroeconomical aspect. And of course, for your business, you have to find and determine this equilibrium price and fix your production on that level. If you are insisting to produce more for capturing more market, you probably exercise some bankrupt, and of course you may need some bailout performance or some support from the government, because this graphical illustration says above $2 or €2 here is not possible to sell more product and produce more product. Below 2 is better to resist and maintain your production. Therefore, this company should maintain the price level at $2 or €2, and of course the production capacity at 7 units, where there is an equilibrium price, or at least below this level. If it is increased to $2 and increased to 8 and 9 units, this will enlarge and increase the surplus in the market, because consumers are not able to buy more product. This means this. You understand this graphic? This is how it is. Therefore, producer should stay at 7, and consumer prefer to buy at $2 with 7 units, and this is the equilibrium position. And as I mentioned to you again, above 7 units, if the producer insists to increase to 8 units, 9 units, 10 units, this will not give any profit or any preferences for the supplier, because this will only create surplus. Because above $2 and above 7 units, this is increasing the overproduction. And overproduction is, of course, not good for the economy. This will force the economy to reduce the price more to become to the equilibrium position, because above 7 means higher price and, of course, higher quantity, but the demand is not responding. They are not able to buy these products, and this is then creating surplus. This product will stay in your shop, and you are not able to buy this and sell this in the market. And this is then the reason why there is a discount and seasonal discount, because at that price that you are offering, the consumer are not responding to your production or to your market price or to your market capacity. And due to this reason, the market will become reduced because of the price or because of the seasonal preferences and, of course, sales. You have understood probably how it is going to be. This is then the equilibrium quantity, as I mentioned to you, 7 units, and this is then the equilibrium price, as I mentioned to you, at 2 points, and above these 2 prices and quantity, above this price and quantity, to numbers 7 and 2, the market will not perform well. Therefore, this institution or business must maintain these numbers for creating sustainable model for their business. Many businesses, as you are observing, large and become large size, or of course big business or large company or holding or somehow group of companies, and enlarging their businesses as much as possible as they can. And due to this reason, this is somehow not well performed, because creating different application for your businesses may perform, of course, other performances, and may create some spaces for you for your other products. But as a whole, if you are excess or create more production above this equilibrium, you will exercise problem in the market. Therefore, if your company is stable and wants to maintain this profit, should protect this performance until the next seasonal deviation and next seasonal, of course, equilibrium, because we don't know this invisible hand, so-called in the classical economical approach, how responding and how it is creating this price. Sometimes produced quantity is less, and because of this, price may shift it up, and sometimes produced amount is more and reduce the price below the 2, and this is then, of course, shifting the demand to the higher level. Therefore, every seasonal deviation and seasonal aspect and, of course, equilibrium affects and change this price and quantity produced in the economy. when we are, do you have any question? When we are observing here, as you see here, this company, sorry, insists to enlarge and increase their market from 7 to 10. And as you observe here, the market is now shifted to the 10, and of course the price is becoming 250. But as you see, consumer demand reduced now, probably to 4. We didn't indicate here, but as you see, it is now illustrated. It is reduced to 4. Therefore, this company will exercise problem because the equilibrium price, which was 2, is not anymore desirable because there is higher surplus, there is overproduction, which is 10, and there is, of course, quantity demanded, which is 4. And at 4, we have, of course, probably $1.5 per each unit, which is going to be produced from the consumer. They don't buy this product at 250, but they will prefer to buy 4 units at maybe 250, but the rest of the consumer will not responding this, and probably it is expected the price will be reduced from 250 to 150 maybe, to responding this surplus for 10 unit of quantity produced in the market. Therefore, it is better to maintain the equilibrium position for every single market and every single, let's say, business. And this will then, of course, create sustainable model for your startup business. Do you have any question? If not, then I go to up the equilibrium. You don't have question, probably. Tell me, Ali. Tell Adeline. You have question?
No, sir. Answer, you can go ahead.
Okay, the surplus, as I mentioned to you, is when equilibrium price is higher than, of course, than the quantity that we are offering. When the price is going up from the equilibrium price and the quantity supplied, therefore the quantity demanded is expected to become less. This is surplus, and suppliers will lower the price to increase sales. That's why how we are exercising in the seasonal discounts, thereby moving. This will then create and accelerate this movements or move towards to the equilibrium. Of course, this is depending to the market. If it is an agricultural product, probably we have to hurry up because of the seasonal products. If it is some others, you may reduce it, you may not reduce it, you may collect it from the market and wait for the next season. If it is industrial product somehow, this is how it is realized. If you have required some liquidity or somehow, these things are really very, very complicated. There are too many parameters and too many things which is affecting and changing the market equilibrium. But in general, you have to follow up this equilibrium price. If the market is responding to you, it's okay. If you don't follow this, you are exercising always problem. And this is not good for the economy. Therefore, we have to see how it is affecting and changing this market supply and demand together the economy. This is the initial equilibrium, as I mentioned to you, and we are supposing that the demand is increasing. The hot weather increases the demand for ice cream because everybody wants to eat more ice cream. Probably now we reduce our consumption, isn't it? This is somehow depending to the seasonal deviation. As I mentioned to you, ice cream, watermelon, melon, or some watery juice products may be consumed abundantly in summer, but in winter we prefer to eat more proteins, more carbohydrate, more hot drinks. Therefore, we reduce to consume ice cream or watermelon or some ice drinks or some other things. Therefore, depending to the seasonal deviation, if the ice cream consumption is increased, then this is good for the economy, as you are seeing here, because the consumer demand responding here, and it is accepting this price increase, and no problem. This will then create sufficient market structure and shifting the new equilibrium to the higher level because of the seasonal problems, because of the hot, because of the weather conditions. But as I mentioned to you, this is seasonal deviation. This is not always responding to the economy. And this will then enlarge and increase your capacity towards to this consumption. And if it is decreasing this supply, let's see, an increase in the price of sugar reduce the supply of ice cream. This is something happens again, but from the supplier side, because of the sugar price is increased, now the ice cream price is expected to become 250, but this will then of course negatively affecting and changing the, of course, new equilibrium, not to 10 but to 4, as I mentioned, because of the season is already gone, and now you are in the normal period, and your price, because of the sugar price increase, reduce your supply and increase the amount and price, increase the price and reduce the amount from 7 to 4. Therefore, as you see, it may come from the supply side, or it may come from the consumer side, from the demand side, this price increase. But in any case, either the price going to affect positively if it is in hot, for example, or if it is because of the price increase, then this will then shift and reduce the supply to the lower level. Therefore, in any case, you have to concentrate this application to see and follow up your market structure for your existence, because this kind of applications, especially such ice cream and such products which is seasonal changes and weather conditions affecting, or some price changes affecting heavily their consumption, because ice cream is not very well consumed for the whole seasons, but some seasons in summer it is preferred. Therefore, it is of course carefully treated and carefully produced products for the seasonal expectation and of course consumption. Do you have any question up to now? If you don't have any question, I will, as you see, results of price increase, sugar price increase, ice cream price increase from 2 to 250, and of course this will affect, because season is over, this will reduce the consumption from 7 to 4. Okay, now we'll summarize these shifts with the graphics. As you see here, if you don't have any question, I will give you some explanation about these shifts. What if supply is changing or demand is changing, increasing, decreasing, how it is affecting and changing the equilibrium position. I will give you quickly and finish this chapter, and then probably go to the next chapter. If you don't have any question, let's see. I think one student asked me these shifts to see how it is going to be. Now you will understand here better. You will able to understand here on this graphics better, and then go to the next chapter. Here I give you 4 graphic. You are seeing this? You are following the graphic 1, for example?
Yes, sir. You are seeing.
Yes. Graphic 1 says when the demand is increased. What is happening when the demand is increased? You see on the graphic an increase in demand and no change in supply. P is up, Q is up. As you see here, when the demand is increased and no change in supply, this will then shift the quantity and price bilaterally. On the graphic 1, you see demand increase, quantity increase, price increase, no problem. This is good for the economy. Therefore, demand is very popular in economy to accelerate it. From Keynesian economical aspect, always demand side is supported. If you are having demand, this will accelerating your production and increase your production, and you can enjoy to increase, of course, the price for getting more profit. Therefore, we are in the pandemic, and this pandemic having problem for the demand. We don't buy too much. We reduce our reduction because we are not going everywhere. We are reducing our consumption and of course buy. We don't buy too much. Probably our salaries reduce, our let's say income is reduced, and this is affecting negatively the market even. Therefore, if the demand is increased here, this is good for the economy. You see on the graphic, no increase in supply, but increase in demand. P is up, Q is up. It says on the first vertical line to the second line. You see P up, Q up. Therefore, this is good for the economy. When we are going to the graphic 2, when the demand is down, the last line in the first vertical line, the last, decrease in demand, no change in supply, P down, Q down. You see now the price down, quantity down. Quantity reduced, supply reduced. You are observing, you are following me? Graphic B, graphic 1 and graphic 2. You are following?
Sir, explain that
Yes,
graphic 2 again, please.
Yeah. All once again?
Yeah.
I am talking about the first vertical line. You see? First vertical line. If it is no change in demand, no change in supply, of course, nothing happens. But when we go to the an increase in demand and no change in supply, then we have in the vertical line, first vertical line, we have the P up, Q up, the graphic 1. We are illustrating the graphic 1 because graphic 1 says demand is increasing from Q1, from D1 to D2. Therefore, this is positively affecting the economy. This is positively affecting economy, the equilibrium higher level. As you are observing here, quantity increase, price increase. I didn't put the P1, P2, but you are seeing here, there is a arrow showing enlarge to the right side. The demand is right side. You see the first graphic. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, we come to the second one. Now is opposite. Now we are in the, again, vertical. I have to present because my presentation is suddenly broken. Hold on a second. Okay, I will go to the last. You are following me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming to the last line because I interrupted suddenly. I'm coming quickly. Hold on a second. Okay, now we have the graphic 2, as I said to you, the vertical line, the first vertical line, and the last line. A decrease in demand and no change in supply, therefore P down, Q down. If decrease in demand, there is a decrease in demand, then this will reduce the price and reduce the quantity. As I said to you, demand is very important in economy. If you reduce your capacity, you are reducing your, of course, price and you are reducing your quantity produced. This is not good for the economy. You have understood the graphic 2? Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we come to the graphic 3. Graphic 3, then we have of course now the horizontal line, an increase in supply, and first horizontal line and the second vertical line. First horizontal line and second vertical line intersection is P down, Q up. The third graphic where says the increase in supply. When the price go down and Q up of this supply increase, too much supply, and of course this will then cause some problem to the economy because this will not be absorbed from the market, and this is causing some reduction on the price and of course increase in the quantity because you are producing more. This is somehow surplus effect, and this is then forcing you to reduce because nothing changed, just only the supply is increased here and demand is not changing. Therefore you have to reduce the price, you understand, for promoting the demand, for letting them to buy more, you understand. Therefore we suppose in the graphic 3 you should down your price, you should reduce your price down in this case. Is okay? You clear with the graphic 3?
Yes.
Super. Then we have the fourth graphic. Yes, please. You have question, underline.
Sir, can you please repeat the third graphic again?
Yes, I am on the first horizontal line on the table and vertical second. An increase in supply and no change in demand. Okay? The graphic 3.
Okay.
You got it? Okay, we have the supply, an increase in supply means graphic 3. An increase in supply but no change in demand, graphic 3. This means price should be down. You should reduce price down for maintaining your market because demand is not changing if you don't change the price. Demand stays stable. Only the supply is increased. Therefore, you should reduce your price for making some market. Therefore, this supply is increased and of course expected to reduce the price. This is what happens. Okay, this is what happens in the market. Is clear? Okay, I'm going to the fourth graphic. Do you have any question for the third one?
No, so far.
Okay. Now we come to the graphic 4 where again on the table vertical, third vertical, and of course the first horizontal line intersection. No, what happens? Yeah. It moves again, I don't know. Sometimes happens because we are online. Oba, it's gone. So I have to upload again because this is the third time. Whew. Okay, let me start again. If you wait to finish this chapter, then ask me because sometimes intersection happens. Adeline. Okay. Let me go quickly. Yes. I'm coming to the last line. You have question? Okay, I'm coming. Okay.
That's page 16.
Yes, system sometimes. Normal. It disappears suddenly. I don't know, because of this connection. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, we are here. The fourth graphic, as I said to you, the decrease in supply, and of course, no change in demand. Decrease in supply. Now the supply is moving to the left side, as you see on the graphic 4. Now the price is up, but quantity is down. You see what is happening? Price is up, quantity down. This is what is happening. Is okay?
Yeah.
Okay. As you see, it is reducing decrease in supply, and of course no change in demand, decreasing the quantity, and price is going up because of reduction on the quantity is realized here. I think you got it here, because quantity reduced, and of course naturally price a little bit up. These are the 4 graphics. Now I'm going to do the other 4 separately. Every single case I will exercise you on the single slide, and you will better understand, because these are a little bit complicated. This is easy one. If you don't have any question, I will go to the next chapter, next slide, sorry. Okay. Okay. Now supply decrease, demand increase. Supply is decreasing and demand increasing. P increase, Q ambiguous here. No change. This will what happens. Okay, this is what is happening. Supply is decreasing, as you see here. We have the P0, Q0. Demand increase, supply decrease. Demand increase, supply increase. Equilibrium price increase, equilibrium quantity indeterminate, or it means unambiguous. We don't know what will happen. It is not clear, not predictable. But as you see here, can be 0 also. Price go up because here we have the supply decrease and demand increase. When the supply decrease, as you see, there is some reduction. But when demand is increased, there is something happens and shifting the demand, of course, higher level. And this is then causing, of course, the price from P0 to P1. You have understood? Supply decrease, demand increase. You got it? Probably this is somehow necessary foodstuff and everybody wants to buy. There is less food in the market and everybody wants, such as bread, or something, water, some necessary foodstuffs. You got it? It is depending to the, of course, some goods where in the market is excessively demanded. Yes, please. You have question? You understand? You are understanding, or have you understood?
Sir, what do you mean by equilibrium quantity indeterminate?
Because you don't know what will happen. This sometimes, as I said to you, it is depending to the product.
It's not fixed, yani.
It can be fixed, as I said to you here. If it is fixed, if it is necessary foodstuff, it can be luxuries. It can be some, let's say, not always consumed. Some products which you don't buy, giffen goods or such products which is not always preferred. It is depending to the product in the market. And here we are suggesting, if the demand is increases and supply decreases, equilibrium price increases, but equilibrium quantity indeterminate. We don't know what will happen. But as you see here, it is sometimes realized in the same level. You may say, even if it is price go up because of demand and demand increase and supply decrease, But of course, we are supposing because of it is necessary foodstuff, the quantity stay intact. Even if the prices increases, you continue to buy water, isn't it? But maybe you don't buy more Coke or more beer. You understand, or something else, or chocolate or something like that. If it is luxuries or somehow not very necessary foodstuff, something like this, then the quantity is somehow inelastic. Quantity can be realized here because you have to buy, even if the price goes up. You understand? You continue to enlarge your consumption. You got it?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Okay. If the demand decrease and decrease in supply realize, both reduced, demand decrease, supply decrease, equilibrium price, indeterminate equilibrium quantity decreases. Again here, demand decrease, supply decrease. There is a reduction on the demand and there is a reduction on this supply. The equilibrium price is supposed to be not changing, but equilibrium quantity is supposed to be decreasing because of the price, because of the supply, because of the demand, because we don't know. It is reducing, it goes down, isn't it? Demand reduced, supply reduced. When the supply reduced, this means quantity should be reduced, isn't it? Supply means production reduced. And when the demand is also reduced, somehow, let's say, now we are using too much mobile products, iPhone, Samsung, but you may not produce tablets probably because you are using your internet and your mobile activities with your media, with your telephone, isn't it? And you don't buy probably laptop anymore, or laptop production may be reduced because mobile or handy is increased, the capacity and of course the functions enlarge and let you to download PDF, let you to work on this apparatus, on this equipment better and everywhere. Therefore, maybe the tablet will reduce. Demand reduction realize, supply reduction realize because of this, or vice versa. Supply is reduced and you reduce demand. Therefore, price supposed to be indeterminate or maybe stay intact, but equilibrium quantity is decreasing because quantity produced is reduced. Is clear here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here another case, the increase in demand and increase in supply. As you see now, both is supposed to be enlarged. Demand increase, supply increase. When the demand is increasing and when the supply is also increasing, the equilibrium price is supposed to be indeterminate or maybe a little bit shifted or reduced, and equilibrium quantity is of course increasing because demand increase because of supply increase, or supply is increasing because of demand increasing. Therefore, vice versa, bilaterally, each other affected and change. And when this happens, we don't know in the market how this is responding. When the demand is increased, sometimes we are also enlarging and increasing our prices either, or maybe reducing our prices because of the consumption capacity is enlarged. This is then economics of scale because you are producing more and selling it cheaper, as in China Bazaar realize, isn't it? Enlarging quantity sometimes enlarging the, of course, consumption and of course decreasing the price level, or sometimes stay intact. This is how it is realized. You got it? Supply increase because of demand increase. This will shift the Q1 to Q2, the quantity will increase, and of course this is expected to positively affect and change the price from P1 to P2, or sometimes it may be stay intact without changing. Therefore, economics of scale from now on you have to know is the mass production is always better off because it is helping hand for enlarging and increasing the consumption capacity either, because of this reason China is becoming very popular and becoming the leading position in the economy because they are having mass production. And of course, the consumption capacity is increased and price is also reduced. You understand this one also? Any question? Is clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh. Okay, I will go to the last graphic. Okay, demand decrease and supply increase. Q ambiguous and price decreases. Q ambiguous and price decreases. Let's have here the demand in decrease and supply is increasing. What is happening? Demand decreasing, supply increases. Equilibrium price decrease, equilibrium quantity indeterminate. We don't know. This will then reduce the demand because demand is reduced. And supply is continuing to increase. And this is, of course, negatively affecting the market and is expected to make and fix the quantity somewhere else, which is not responding to these price changes. Therefore, equilibrium price is expected to become reduced because there is no demand for this enlargement, and quantity is expected to become intact or indeterminate. We don't know how it's going to be responding this enlargement. The equilibrium quantity is supposed to be stay intact, whether it is increased or not. So this was the cases for the demand and supply. I think you are understanding now better with these graphical explanations. I will not jump up to the next chapter because I think this is enough. The applications I will start to do next lecture. And then next lecture, if we are able to finish these applications, and if you don't have any question about the assignment that I have given to you too much, after I upload this solution, I will jump up to the elasticity also. If you have any question, you will ask me. If you don't have any question, I prefer to stop this class here and then let you to exercise and study this class better, and then see you next class with this application on the supply and demand, and the elasticity will be introduced to you together. Do you have any question or any suggestion?
No, sir, no questions.
No, thank you, sir.
I think this is enough for today. I don't want to start the next class because this will then go more than 1 hour. Then this is, of course, a little bit tiring and let you too much confused with all applications. I will let you to understand this theoretical part better, and then next lecture we will start to apply this with the numbers. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, then see you next class. If you enjoy this, then I will go to upload after the next class one more assignment. Okay? And you can communicate with me from the WhatsApp either, no problem.
Sir, what about the attendance of the class?
Attendance, I am taking. You are here, I am taking your attendance. It is registered, don't worry. Every class attendance is registered and we have to submit to the university. Yes, please. I will give you some attendance points because of your attendance. You coming to my class.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello. How do we
Yes,
access these notes? Because I don't see them on the... How do we access the notes?
The notes
The
I will
slides.
upload.
How do we access?
You mean the grading system?
Okay.
I will.
He will upload them. He will upload them.
Okay.
I will your assignments. You will how you access your assignments, your results.
He means the notes.
The notes, because I can't see the notes from.
You mean this online class? Online class.
Yeah.
Videos. We are talking about the videos.
He's talking about the slides, sir. The slides.
These slides. Okay, slides is in the system. You can download it anytime. It is in the system. You are not able to check this. You don't see the assignments. I upload every time to the system. It is in the system. It is in the system. Okay. I think other lines should switch off the microphone because interrupting my voice. You understand? This is in the system. The assignments, if you don't know where it is, I will direct you. You write me from the WhatsApp or you write me email, and assignments is already uploaded to the system. I will evaluate your assignments and put the grades to the system also, to put the notes to the system. Your results will be published also. Or at the end of the semester, I will upload everything to the system and you will see. We have midterm and final exam. This will not be very difficult for you. If you come to the class regularly, you will understand everything because you are in the first class, so-called the freshman. And I will try to contribute you as much as I can because we are online with the assignments, with your attendance for helping you, but you should come to the class regularly for understanding these topics and this course better. If you don't have any question, I will finish this class, okay? All right. So if you don't have any question, I'm gonna finish it. Is that okay? See you the next Friday. See you next Friday. Bye-bye.